Ladies, tonight here on the C show, I am going to talk about you darvish signing with Chicago, with the Chicago Cubs. I know there's one person who cannot be very happy with this because he was just telling me about how the reason free agency has been so slow lately is because the teams are no longer giving these players 7-year contracts and all this stuff. And yeah, this is ridiculous. I remember, Alfonso Soriano, when they gave him a 7-year deal. It was terrible. It felt like he was there for 100 years. Cesar Sabathia, same thing. He signed a long-term deal with the Yankees. It's just ridiculous because, look, it's one thing the money, but it's another thing the years. Like, if you think about it, it's not a lot of money. $125 million for 7 years. Like, James Harden got paid $127 million for 5 years. So the money, to me, like for a 7-year deal, is not that much. You look at like James Harden in the NBA got like, what was it, 5 years, 127. So, but to me, is the longevity. 7 years, 7 years. 125 million, I believe it was. I'm not sure, it might be a little bit off, but it was somewhere around there, Bill Patterson, he'll have the exact numbers for us, and he'll put it down in the comment section, as he always does when it comes down to the major leagues. But he'll have the exact numbers if you guys want to know. But anyways, it was around there, 125 million, 7 years for you, Darvish, to go to the Chicago Cubs. Alright. This guy, first of all, Jake Arrieta is still a free agent. If you're going to give this type of money, why don't you give it to a guy who's been in your franchise since the last 2 years? You won a World Series with. You know what he's all about. What the fuck? You know what he's all about. You know what he's all about. You know what he's all about. You won a World Series with him. He even threw a no-hitter for you. Instead, go out and give the money to excuse me, hold on, I'm having problems right now. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. Anyways, okay, so why go out and give it to another guy who you don't know what you're going to get for? Jake Arrieta won a World Series with you. He threw a no-hitter with you. He's been to the playoffs. He's thrown a lot of good games for you. If you're going to give a 7-year deal worth $125 million, at least give it to a guy you know already. You know what you're going to get. You're familiar with him. And instead of giving it to this darvish guy, who you don't know what you're going to get for, he's been very inconsistent, completely sucked ass in the World Series, I don't get it. First of all, 7 years is a long time, and then, if you're going to get 7 years, if Jake Arrieta is still out there, at least give it to him. I don't understand this at all. I really don't. And there were talks about the Houston players were interviewed a few weeks after the World Series, and they were talking about how Darvish was tipping his pitches. And so I felt like, automatically right there, you might want to go to Houston and sign with Houston so they can explain to you what you were doing wrong. Because now, you can still watch film and try to figure it out, but you may still be tipping your pitches. I'm sure you'll watch film, and I'm sure they'll watch film when they get to Chicago and, try to continue to figure it out. But that is a problem if you're tipping your pitches. I feel like even though his last few weeks he spent with the Rangers, I felt like he didn't pitch good either there. Apparently he was distracted by the whole trading talks, and then, he ended up getting traded in July to Los Angeles. In Los Angeles, he did alright. He didn't really do that great once he got there. And then, he Game 2 and Game 7, he lost in the World Series. And then the Astros Houston said out a few weeks later, yeah, he was tipping his pitches the entire World Series, both in Game 2 and in Game 7. You can look at film, you can try to fix that, but I don't know. I'm sure they'll look at it, and I'm sure they'll be able to figure it out. There are smart people within Chicago, Joe Madden is a very smart man. They'll try to figure it out. But 7 years, it's a long time. I do not see you Darvish finishing out this contract. I think he's going to be there for almost 5 years, and I think he'll end up getting traded, just like they did with Alfonso Soriano when they sent them to 7 years. 7 years is a long time. It's just a long time. This is why free agency is so slow. Because these agents want these long-term deals, and it's just too long. 5 years at most. At most. 7 years is way too long. I don't understand it. And then, like I said, I don't understand it why, if you're going to do this shit, at least give it to a guy who you're already familiar with, and Jake Arrieta, who you had success with. I really don't get this shit. I really don't, ladies and gentlemen. Bill Patterson, I'm sure you live it too. I'm sure you're not very happy with this. You were just telling me that you were happy that now these teams were no longer giving out these 7-year contracts, and now bam, this shit happens to your team. You guys get 7 years, 125 million or whatever it was to this man. I'm sure you're pissed off. You're not too happy with this. I'm sure you agree with me. If you're gonna do this shit, you'd rather give it to Jake Arrieta, who you're familiar with, you had success with, instead of this darvish guy who just fell flat in his face in the playoffs, in the World Series. You don't know what you're gonna get. Even if you figured out why he was taking his pitches, you still don't know, because he struggled in the Rangers. He struggled when he got to Los Angeles. You don't. When did he start tipping his pitches? Who knows? But hopefully you can figure it out, and good luck with this guy. I'm not too excited for you, Bill Patterson. I'm really not. Let me know what you think. I don't think he's gonna last it for the entire 7 years or whatever it is. It might be a little bit, I think it's, I don't know, I have to go read it again. But it's around there, you know, like I said, Bill Patterson will give you the exact numbers, as he always likes to do it. He's the biggest baseball fan I believe we have here on the show. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, I am the man that runs the place. I am C. I do not agree with this move at all. I don't think this is going to last. And let me know what you guys think. Anybody else with Bill Patterson, let me know what you think. And yeah, as always, if you have any videos ideas coming up, let me know. And this was kind of like the video idea I was going to talk about, the agents asking for these 7-year contracts and the team's not giving them anymore. And this is why free agency has been so slow this year. This is a topic I was going to do that Patterson asked me to do. And I kind of touched on it a few weeks ago, and then a few days ago, and now I'm touching on it right now again. This is why. Because these contracts don't last. And this is why probably Darvish was a free agent for the longest time. And he finally got somebody to fucking give him his 7 years, or his 5 years, whatever. It's 6 to 7 years, whatever it was. Anyways, until next time, I am the man that runs the place, and I will see you later. If you have any ideas, anything to say, let me know down below. And until next time, I will see you later. Oh my lord, 7 years, whatever it was. Too long, too long.